Today I fucked up by going to the dentist in handcuffs. Today I fucked up. This actually happened about 2 years ago, but I hadn't discovered Reddit yet. I was visiting my parents for spring break. I had a dentist appointment scheduled while I was there. For various reasons, I ended up being the only one at home. My dad was at work, my brothers were at school, their spring break didn't line up with mine, and my mom left to go shopping or something. About 30 minutes before I had to leave for the dentist, I went into my brother's room to use his shower. His room had its own bathroom because it used to be the master bedroom, before my parents added on to their house. After getting out of the shower, I noticed something on his dresser, a pair of handcuffs. Naturally, I decided to put them on. I only put one of the cuffs on before I realized my mistake. They weren't toy handcuffs with the little lever to open them up. They were real and I didn't see any keys. I was freaking out. There was only 15 minutes before my dentist appointment, and it took 10 minutes to drive there. I texted my brother, asking if he had keys to his handcuffs. He didn't. He had found them at some garage sale and they looked cool, but didn't have keys. After trying to fish around with a paper clip, I decided I had to do the inevitable, go to the dentist. One thing you need to understand about this dentist is that he is very serious about punctuality. He has been known to fire patients who show up late to their appointments. I didn't want to get fired, and by extension, have my mom fired because she was the one who set up the appointment. I eventually made it to the dentist. Driving with one hand in handcuffs is very difficult. I hold the dangling handcuff in my hand, hoping that nobody notices. During the cleaning, the dental assistant didn't notice. Then, the dentist came in to do a final check on my teeth, and the first thing he said is, "What do you have on your wrist?" I sheepishly said that I am making a fashion statement. I felt so embarrassed. When I got home, I got a paper clip and fished around the lock for a while until it finally came loose. TL, doctor, I put on what I thought were toy handcuffs, realized they were real and didn't have keys. I didn't have time to take them off before my dentist appointment. Edit, this became a running joke in my family. When I got married, my mom gave me a pair of handcuffs saying, "Here, these ones have keys." Naturally. Definitely thought this was gonna end with your dentist calling the cops on you. My dumbass would have worn a plastic bag over my hand before I would even think about putting on a big long-sleeved jacket or something a normal person might do. And now I'm picturing you wearing a jacket when it is 102 degrees to your dentist appointment. It has to be less conspicuous than the bag, right? Question mark. I thought this story was hilarious. Don't listen to the other commenters. I would probably be mortified if my very professional dentist saw handcuffs attached to me, LOL. My mom gave me a pair of handcuffs saying, "Here, these ones have keys." True story time. At brother 1's wedding reception, brother 3 put a pair of handcuffs on my mom. Haha, everyone laughed. Brother 3 asks brother 2 for the keys to let mom go. You guessed it, no keys. Ended up calling the husband of my mom's BFF because he was a retired police officer and had keys. That's guts, putting on handcuffs from your brother's room without questioning where they had been. Especially since he wasn't a police officer. Hey, at least they weren't fur-lined ones, lol. Sorry doc, didn't want to get fired from being your patient, so I ran out mid-kink sex to be here. Today I fucked up. I asked a woman where her baby was. This was a while back, but I'm new to Reddit and thought this would be a good place to share this story. Roughly 3 years ago, my housemate was talking to this real edgy tattooed girl who seemed quite nice. They eventually went on a few dates. I tagged along this night, as did her friend. It was slightly awkward in the bar, so I was slamming drinks back. I have a GF at the time, so I'm literally there as emotional support. So my housemate starts talking about pregnancy and shit, and what that hubbub is about. After a few minutes of this, and many a drink, I begin to wonder how I hadn't heard that she had a kid yet. I feel like one my closest friends would have mentioned if his date had a kid, right? I'm now assuming this is like one of her few nights out because kid. So I shout across the table, "Where's the baby?" Little did I know my friend is making dagger eyes at me, trying to get me to stop that question. She had a miscarriage. She had a fucking miscarriage, and I yelled, "Where's the baby?" right at her. Fun fact, fast forward about a year and my housemate brings this up again, again. I had literally blocked it from my memory, and so by him bringing it up again had to relive this utter horror all over again. They never got into a relationship. Too long didn't read. I asked a woman where her baby was and it turned out to be a tragic miscarriage. Edit, spelling. Mistakes happen, mishearing happens, don't beat yourself up, friend. Hi, there was nothing to be done except say that you didn't know, and that you're so sorry for her loss. Yeah. Not thinking I once told a workmate about Hemingway's 6-word story not long after his wife had a miscarriage. Oh, that is a sad one. That poor person. Imagine how often you'll be asked something along that lines. I hope they find peace, and you too. A high school buddy of mine once told this girl that she was starting to put on the baby weight and rubbed her belly. You know where this is heading. She had a miscarriage about a month prior. Today I fucked up by introducing spiders, sex, and cannibalism into a job application. So, this didn't happen today, but I was reminded of it today and felt it deserved a share. A while ago, I was applying for a job that involved a certain amount of science-related writing. Before my interview, I was asked to submit a writing sample so that they could assess my general skill. It didn't matter where it was from, just that it was recent. After considering my options, I decided to submit the final paper from my Ecology of Animal Behavior class. My professor had been quite complimentary, so it seemed a good bet. The topic: precopulatory sexual cannibalism in spiders. In other words, the fact that some female spiders end up eating their potential mates before actually getting around to the whole mating part. I'm an evolutionary biology nerd. In my mind, this topic was both totally normal and also intellectually interesting. From an evolutionary standpoint, it's very counterintuitive. So I didn't even think twice. And I arrive at the interview. Everything is going fine, until one of the interviewers turns to my writing sample. Wait, you're the one who sent us a paper about spider sex and cannibals? Wahahaha. Other interviewers, gales of laughter and sideways looks of disbelief. Me, blushes to fire engine levels and mutters an incoherent response in too late embarrassment. Yeah, I didn't get that job. No idea whether the spider sex is to blame. Too long didn't read, applied for a job using a paper on spiders cannibalizing one another instead of mating, looked ridiculous and didn't get hired. Hey, I keep tarantulas as pets and I'd be all hire the spider sex candidate or I quit. Yes. Always nice to know there's someone out there who would have been rooting for me. P.S. I used to have a Guyana pink toe tarantula, surprisingly delightful pets, emo. Bit unprofessional to just burst out laughing and embarrass you like that. Glad you never got the job. I know you probably hate hearing that, but it's true. If you had to submit something sciencey, then surely anything goes right. It sounds like this place was far less scientifically professional than NOP. Reminds me of my class a few days ago. The professor asked us to say something unusual about ourselves as an icebreaker. I'm usually really stuck on these kinds of questions, so I ended up saying I liked spiders. It's rarely a good first impression. Spiders really do deserve more appreciation than they get. Have you seen the videos of the courtship dances by peacock spiders? Every bit as bow today I fucked up as what you see from Birds of Paradise, but coming from this tiny little arachnid. I mean, they're the ones who weren't open-minded enough, especially as they asked for anything science-related, right? But apparently not all science fields have quite the same definition of normal. It sucks that you didn't get the job, but that scenario is awesome. I think like you, I'd probably do the same thing. Glad I'm not alone in this. I seriously didn't have even a shadow of a thought that this might not be the best approach. Thankfully, I was able to get another job fairly quickly, so it wasn't devastating, just embarrassing.